Oh, folks, and welcome back to Miss Pandaria. You saw me grinding a little in Burning Crusade there. There's a reason for that. I bought a ton of netherweave, and, well, the dust on the market was terribly overpriced. So, I was thinking, if I grind up a ton of greens, to actually get a blue, and if I get in contact with a guildie, they may be willing to DE it for me and sell me the dust at a reduced rate, therefore making my whole plan there viable. The issue is getting enough pieces and then also communicating with a person. The horror was going down there to try and do the tailoring stuff, but I keep forgetting to have the other stuff on me. So I'm just going to, oh, I can't fly up here? Oh, Kael'thas forces in Botanica were unsuccessful in handling the numerous creatures contained within. Let's take action to right their wrongs. First step is eliminate their forces so they cannot cause further problems. Thorngrin the Tender. Oh, it's the satyr, yeah. We imprisoned the most dangerous beings we came across in our travels. Zeraketh is a powerful void lord. If he escapes into Netherstorm, he'll feed off the abundant void energy.
What wisdom do you seek?
Oh. Forgotten lockbox. Don't do this to me, game. It did this to me. Anyway.
You are most welcome.
Any friend of Greymane is a friend of mine.
I'm neutral with the Black Prince. I was neutral with him the other day, too. I'm already up to Revere. Well, no, I'm a Drain. I start up pretty high with them. Actually, no, that's the Alder. I shot it with the Alder last night, and I don't have it here. Weird. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to go on foot. It is a terrible idea, but I can hear that guy saying his line. They aren't actually here to take me anywhere. Game is glitched as shit. It's only 2 levels in the difference. As long as there's not too many, I'll be fine. Oh, that went shockingly easy.
We keep the darkness at
There we
bay.
go. That's why I couldn't fly anywhere. I remember having a point before, like I was saying about the like FF14. You feel like much more in the English version. I can't really truly comment on the game, given how much the English version is butchering. Um, excuse me. Sorry. Phlegm got stuck in my throat and I nearly got sick. Um, given how much of a butchering FF14 is, the English version of the English version of FF14 is a butchering, so I can't truly comment on things. But you do feel like more the champion and the, hero. And while there's an effort to make you feel like a hero here in WoW, whenever the cutscenes come up and whatnot, your character rarely appears in them, rarely gets focus in them. It's always the NPCs. Your character, if FF14 felt much more like a mainline Final Fantasy game that happened to be an MMO, while WoW doesn't have that feel. WoW feels like there's an attempt at it, but there's an attempt at it, but then they'll just focus so much on the NPCs, making them really cool, or giving them the trust of things. So it just, I can't properly articulate it, but it's just basically in in FF14 it felt like a Final Fantasy. It's the mainline Final Fantasy game. Your character felt very much part of the thing and the hero. There's an effort to do that here in WoW. How many wives did he have? But and there's an effort to do it here. But I don't know. It just feels like I think the person was right when they said that I think the person had a point when they talked about the what was their phrasing? That I can't actually remember how they phrased it, which kind of ruins my whole point here. But I was talking about an earlier thing about how we don't get to be the hero here in WoW. It's the NPCs that do. They get more focus, and I can kind of see where they're coming from when I start thinking about how FF14 handled things and how I felt playing it. When I was playing it, I felt like the hero. I felt like I was. It felt like a mainline Final Fantasy game, where my character was a central figure of it. And like the NPCs, they get their chance to shine, and that's their standout moment. Like the bit of a spoiler here, they get that kind of moment at the end of Realm Reborn, where they all get their bit to shine there, and like there's other bits throughout, but I really did feel like, you know, part of the world and story. And there's an effort to do that here in WoW and whatnot, but it lacks the same weight, it lacks the same feel, you know?
That's still Richard. That spell isn't ready. I can't cast that.
It lacks the same feel.
That spell isn't ready yet. That's still Richard.
Like,
That spell isn't ready. That's still Richard.
like think of like Witcher. You know, Geralt's the main character. He appears in the cutscenes. He's like other characters will get their moment to shine and have their, you know, drive the story forward in their own way. But so often with WoW, it's like, oh, collect 10 bear asses, and one thing I have difficulty with is lack of confidence in my thoughts and feelings. When you look at a lot of RPGs, you feel like the main character, or you feel like you have a relevant trust to things. But in WoW, you don't really get that feeling. You like remember earlier with Anduin, we do that whole quest where we find Anduin and we confront him. It's like, you know, time to go home, and he says no and runs off. We encounter him later on, and he talks as if that never happened. He talks as if that never happened. Like as if we were never there. There's no acknowledgement of it, you know? Because it's wrote for either side, as far as I can tell. Or if it's not wrote for either side, then there's a Horde and Alliance dedicated one. But it's wrote as if you never did the quest. That you just skipped Jade Forest and hopped over to the Wilds instead. So there's like a lack of proper acknowledgement of your actions and deeds. That's something that FF14, despite my complaints with it, did actually have. If you had done that one quest at the hot springs early on in Realm Reborn, when you encountered Godbert, he actually recognized you, and you got a different little bit of dialogue for it. That's really nice. But the way the Anduin bit was wrote here was they wrote it under presumption you didn't do the main fucking quest of the first zone there. Or at the very least you didn't finish it. So there's a lack of acknowledgement of what you do within quests. And then when it comes to cutscenes, they focus it on NPCs. And then if you look at the larger lore, canonically the Alliance, like, you have that huge grand quest to track down Onyxia and, you know, fight her, reveal Onyxia and fight her and all this. Yeah, that's entirely non-canon. Varian Rin did that in a comic. That's the actual canon of it. That whole thing, non-canon. Then the Blizzard had the audacity to turn around and it's like, hey, remember this quest chain? Yeah, we do. You made it non-canon. We remember that. So, yeah.
That spell isn't ready yet. That's still ready.
So yeah, I know. FF14, you end up feeling like a lead in a Final Fantasy game. And WoW, you do end up... Help! Sprite Swarm! things here. Yeah. I'm kind of going around. It's going around in loops. I do apologize. Yeah, FF14 you feel like a main character of a Final Fantasy game. But here in WoW, there's attempts at doing it, but they don't seem as committed to it. Part of it's the retcons, part of it's the, I know, greater focus on the NPCs. Like, they're obviously important to the story, but I don't know, sometimes it does feel like they rob the spotlight. Oof, he gets reinfested quickly, doesn't he? Well, I'll deal with him in a moment. There's a loot over here, hopefully. Okay, it's not actually here right now. I'm still annoyed about the one from earlier. Well, they died quick. Nice. Thank you for the save, stranger.
May the mists
Look, my father's crazy. I love him, but he's crazy. These young gold managed to completely obliterate our ranch and scatter the axe everywhere. If I know my father, though, he's going to try to go head-to-head with the young gold to get the axe back. He can help us round up some of the yaks so my father doesn't do anything stupid. Just right over to Yak Wash so we can clean them up and sell them to the Grummels.
next one is on me.
Thank you for rescuing me, stranger. I'll see you at the Yak Wash. But yeah, like, there's an attempt at, make me feel like the main character and that you're relevant here in WoW. But often it just ends up feeling hollow, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's constant retcons, maybe it's a weird, like, non-acknowledgement of what you do? I'm not sure exactly. Thankfully, they're very good at aiming and just trying to kill me with that. What did Yongo do to that poor thing? I've lost interest. I wonder if FF14 is the same in the original. Ooh. For now, Yongo invaders seem content to steal yak, surveying the area. However, you notice that they could easily move on to the yak wash at any moment. Thinning their numbers may help show the Yongo that this area is protected.
Speak up. Goodbye. Enough of that. What do you need?
If this keeps up, I don't know how we're ever going to continue our supply of yaks to the Grummel. Not like the fresh scent of needle. The needles have a fresh pine scent to them.
Until next time.
You just earned me a handsome bonus. Getting those needles a pain in the paw, but worth it when we take our yaks to market. Here, for your troubles. The symbol bracelet has symbols of love and affection carved into it. This well-worn trinket has several markings on it professing love and adoration for the late Miss Muskpaw. Perhaps I would like his wife's trinket back.
Slow down.
Travesty of our time, I tell you. That Rancher the Sun can't just run a yak wash in peace with fear of Yongo raiding. Oh, well, what have you there?
Until next time.
You never know how much how much you can lose till you lost it. My wife passed a few seasons ago, but I can tell you, this is a day when I could use your smile the most. At least she doesn't see what these youngo did to our beloved ranch. I'm not gonna take this anymore. My wife, bless her, poured her heart and soul into that ranch, making it what it is today. Them youngo got a leader out over there being all smug and whatnot. I'll pay you handsomely to knock that smug smile off his filthy, stinking, good-for-nothing face. He prefers the maneuverability of a yak over the strength of a mushin. Fearmaster. I'll deal with the yak first. Oh, didn't loot. No, I think I looted this guy, but it's the ring. Oh, I've been looking all over for that one. He's powerful. I hope that one doesn't have to go through twice.
That spell isn't ready.
I think this one's gonna need some extra perfuming. Very nice of all the enemies only attacking me and not the yak. Like, I'm in full plate, I can take it. Oh, that one's filthy. Sure you don't want to go through the wash too? Is it an option? I wish.
That spell isn't ready. Yeah. Hello.
Well done, stranger. Hopefully we'll be able to catch the... Tried to reset my iTunes password the other day, but because they didn't have an Apple product, I had to wait a week. It's punishments. Well done, stranger. Hopefully we'll be able to cash these in and recoup some of the damages the Yongo inflicted. But yeah, a big issue of mine is, I know I have great difficulty in, like, voicing my thoughts, opinions, and just kind of, like, strength behind them. So, yeah. That's why I was humming and hawing a bit there. It's an annoying flaw of mine. Something I really need to work on. But yeah, basically just in FF14 I remember feeling like it was just a standard, like, you know, mainline fantasy game, Final Fantasy game. It like my character felt, like it felt like you would with like a van or, you know, I'm just trying to remember like protag names, Final Fantasy protag names, you know, like Van, Cloud, Squall. It just felt, you know, proper. And maybe it's just me, but in WoW you don't really get the same feeling. It feels more like
it's too far away. That spell is
I know it feels a little emptier. Feels weaker. But I can't put my finger on why. Because it could just be me. It could just be in my head. Rather than an actual flaw with an actual flaw with WoW, you know? It could be just me obsessing over, say, the lore side or something, you know? It could be my fixations. It wouldn't be the first time they've, you know, gotten in the way of things. If you have an opinion or a view, let me know in the comments. It would be nice to hear it. Here you are. You say my son, I'm a ranch. I'm forever in your debt, stranger. If you ever find yourself in need of a clean yak, you know where to go. Yeehaw. I knew you, Dre, and I might be good for something. You must have made a satisfying thump when it hit the ground. Well then, I'm mighty grateful for you calling some of those young girls for us. A little display of authority will enough to discourage them from coming over here.